So the problem with VTubers is being brought to my attention, and we're gonna straight up looking at that. I've heard like a lot of wild things throughout my day, what people have issues with VTuber in the outside of space and on the inside format of the viewers themselves that look at VTubers. You're gonna see, take a look at all of the issues right now. But before we do that, make sure you like this video itself on YouTube so it helps the algorithm gods, and also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more reacts. Click that button. Click it. All right, let's get into it.
So if you don't know what a VTuber is, chances are you've never touched an anime in your life. You never had to explain to your parents why an anime girl's breasts are shooting armor-piercing 16-inch shells, fully well knowing you'll look
That's
at her
an awkward conversation.
the only scene in the entire anime to have such a depraved act. And the usual episodes are like Animal Crossing. Or maybe you just haven't come across the many fan accounts.
Actually, you know what's funny? I have met people that have never watched anime, and then they were introduced to VTubers, and they only watch VTubers, and they still haven't watched any anime. Man, that's a lot of VR chat streamers.
Uploading videos of their favorite VTuber, saying the most out of context, explicit dialogue.
No!
Don't come. Do not come.
Or it's a clip of their VTuber showing off body parts of their 3D model.
I feel like it's been a while since really showed off the thighs.
Ooh.
Go ahead, give me all the rubs you can manage.
Ooh.
Like their feet. Yes, they
Oh my god. Who does this?
exist. Could be worse. You could be French.
You could be French.
French.
I mean, most VTubers
Don't
doing
come.
that are indie VTubers anyway. And there are only two types of VTubers. You have the agency VTubers who are backed by an agency and a bigger company. And then you have indie VTubers who are not held back by an agency and their rules and can say whatever they want and do whatever they want. Yes, and I mean whatever they want. But what are VTubers in general?
You can there's so many out of context clip you can take out of Shy Lily.
Well, a VTuber is basically a 2D or 3D model controlled by a person, controlled by people using facial recognition to control said model and its gestures.
I have said this before, but the technology of VTubing and the art has always been the most interesting thing to me. I absolutely love it. It's just so cool. I remember first time I saw it, I was like, damn, this is so cool. I want to get more into this.
Before you get your hopes up, none of them probably actually look like their VTuber model. Just have to say that. Some of you probably pitched a tent already. But most VTubers,
what was
like
the question yesterday? Why people don't like VTubers? It's because they are feet enjoyers, and whenever they look at a VTuber, they can't see real feet. So anybody disliking VTubers or are not VTuber fans, they are like majority feet enjoyers. Yep, all of them are. It's true.
Face.
It's a fact.
And don't worry, it's not because they're an ugly homunculus and on the same levels as weeping angels.
You know what's funny? A lot of people think, like, I get it. I can understand it. Like, a lot of people think the most common thing is that all VTubers are using a model because they're so ugly in real life, they don't want to show it. But in reality, every single VTuber that's done a face reveal, I should like majority like fucking hot. Like, they're super hot. Like, fuck me, dude. I want to go on a date with Shoto. Hell yeah.
Probably not. Probably. It's because they're under a contract to not do certain
It's true.
things.
Adley's ugly
and
man.
on the
Yeah.
agency you've chosen
Ugly
to be
man.
VTuber for, it's either like you're a piece of meat in a sweatshop, or you actually have a decent company you're working for. But the advantage of being in an agency is kind of like instant success. They will take care of your schedule, what games you'll be playing, what other VTubers or people you'll be interacting with, most of your channel management and social media management, and a platform to force feed your opinion into the mouths
I mean, yeah, like if you're ugly, just become if you're an ugly man, I have the most astonishing and most beautiful thing to present to you. Have you heard about Poland? And would you like to know more about their culture? Because if you are ugly, how about you just become a femboy? Start working out and become a femboy, and you will increase your attractiveness from a 2 to like a 9.
But they also take care of your debut, which both indie and agency VTubers have to do. It's basically where the fans of that agency that has all these amazing
I'm gonna
VTubers
do it.
gets to know you, and the character you're displaying. And along with other details like your backstory, your age, your height, your butthole size, how many raccoons can fit up there. And yes, most VTubers have lore. Not like on the level of Lord of the Rings. Kind of like Naruto if you took out all the filler.
They
like
do.
Popular VTuber
They're
Gura
really
Gura is a
gatekeeping.
descendant of the lost city of Atlantis and is over 9,000 years old. 9,000 years old. And you want to know why her tail looks like that?
That's
Well,
why she's
she got
a
stuck in
lolly.
a ravine and had a bunch of rocks fall on her and she had to wiggle out. And I will tell you that is the most simplest and wholesome VTuber.
What are we looking at? Is that a bird or a raccoon? Like, what is this? Like, it looks like a hairy ball. Like, what is that? Is it a bird? I don't know what I'm looking at. That's a bird? Man, that's one hairy ass bird. What the?
Law. The rest of
I don't know,
anime
man. You
kids'
live in
fantasy.
America. I don't
But
know.
Agencies will mostly
I'm
take
American
care of
enough.
you until you graduate. No, not the peak Kanye West album.
Good morning.
Ooh.
Graduation is for VTubers that either want to leave their agency, want to quit their job, don't want to be a VTuber anymore, or you've been a very, very bad VTuber.
Bad
Because
VTuber.
graduation is basically where they take your VTuber round back and fill it full of 12 gauge.
You know what's crazy? I'm just thinking about her new model, man. What a fucking upgrade. What a... Oh,
Graduation is basically where
dude, we need to do the Nijisanji tier list. Actually, we need to do the VTuber rigging and art tier list. Dude, this is gonna be rough.
they take your VTuber
What
round
an
back
upgrade.
and fill it full
From
of
a
12
4
gauge.
to a 10.
And then bury the
Jesus.
body. to
And I'm
the
not
point
saying
when
even the model is bad. I'm just saying her new model is just like way, way better. Like incredibly better.
no one will ever find it again. Because especially if you're with a VTuber agency, you will never be able to use that model again, not even reference it or speak to any of your other VTuber friends that are in the same agency. And you
I always thought, when I heard first time about graduation, I thought that was the saddest thing ever. Like, that sounded like pure depression in my ears. That was, I felt bad for the people graduating. And when I look at it, it's not as sad as you would think, but it kind of is. But I just feel like joining these corpos, it feels like such a waste of time. Unless it's like your goal to be part of these corpos that you just love them so much. It just sounds like such a waste of time to work so much and so hard. And the fact that this thing is just tied to that corporation, once you leave or once you quit or once you get fired, you lose all of that progress. I just think it's sad.
lose your platform and you basically have to start again. Because the agency owned
Good
all
luck,
of
dude.
that. And most of the time, these agencies won't even let you shout out your new channel if you're leaving. So you have to build yourself back up where most indie VTubers start. But the biggest reason why most people would be an indie VTuber is one, you have to audition to join an agency.
Just say you're
and
a green
basically
eyes
land the role of
enjoyer.
the
I've told you before, I'm fucking jealous. Dude, I wish I had green eyes. Green eyes are hot as fuck.
VTuber they have designed for you. 2, there is no profit sharing. Meaning if I donate to a VTuber on YouTube, which I would never do, a majority of the time YouTube takes their 30%, and the agency may take more. So by the time my money gets to that VTuber, it's probably mere pennies. And third, most VTubers under an agency have to act a certain way,
exactly.
often taking up an entirely different persona from their own, and often can't convey their actual feelings towards their chat. Like so, they can't just say, everyone watching this video has unwashed foreskin, because they're under a contract and are employed by this agency. And most of them don't want to get graduated
Now it makes sense why the other VTuber got like kind of dipped out.
if they did. So a lot of them have to act like they like you. Kind of like that time the popular person asked you out as a joke. Just gonna let that one simmer. Did that bring up past trauma? Good. Which is why most people opt to be indie VTubers, because there's a lot more freedom. Some of these VTuber agencies can be absolute hell. But most indie VTubers have to take care of their own reputation, own brand, their own damage control and rapport with fans, which has led to some terrible...
Thank God that things are getting a little bit easier when it comes to at least getting advertisers. Like, if you're doing decently, thank God there are like options like Mythic Talents nowadays and stuff like that. Because like being an indie VTuber, just being actually a streamer itself, there's so much work within it. There's so much. It's nice that there are more options now to make this process a little bit easier. Dude, I remember her, dude. That was crazy. She took the new TOS section. Like, if you don't know, like, Twitch announced for a day that they're gonna like reduce that you're not getting banned anymore for like nude drawings. So some VTuber just went straight up naked and started showing hentai on their screen.
Terrible cases with indie VTubers. But
They
we'll
got
get into
banned.
some of these terrible companies and terrible VTubers later. But I have a confession to make.
Ooh.
I have a favorite VTuber. Whilst I'm not part of the VTuber community, I actually do have a VTuber I quite like. And I'm gonna give you a sec to guess who it is, so I can ridicule you for getting it wrong. Because
I
in
have
all
no
honesty,
idea who
a
you
majority
are.
of people are gonna get it wrong.
It's Shadow, isn't it? You like
Submitted your
small
answer.
crazy girls.
You dum-dum. My favorite VTuber is Rin Penrose.
That
Okay,
was I was
fine, I'll
very
admit it.
close.
I do have a tendency to complain a lot. The accent.
Oh,
doesn't
it's because she's English. Oh, that makes sense.
I honestly can't wait to ridicule you for getting it wrong. Anyway, I know what you're thinking. It's not because they're a British VTuber.
Uh-huh.
Okay, partially.
It
it's because they're
is.
British. You colonies would not understand. We have to keep the British monarchy going. But I
Right.
actually quite like them because they actually sound like a British person, not an aristocratic asshole or an obnoxious fentanyl-filled caveman like the majority of Manchester, or decimated by the concept of an American thinking what a British person sounds like.
Uh-huh. Oh,
No, they are
posh.
quite literally your average Brit. Probably have jagged teeth though. But I also got into the VTuber community because I have a friend that's a VTuber. Take a look at this femboy. There are also
Damn.
male VTubers,
Oh
but
no. Oh no. Bye-bye.
by the way, they're not as popular as the female counterparts. But there's also femboy VTubers.
That is the biggest lie ever. Some male VTubers are fucking huge. Huge.
If that's up your street. But just a heads up, they are significantly
But it's
more
harder.
explicit
Way
than
harder.
any other type
Way,
of
way harder
VTuber.
for a male
You
VTuber,
stopped
that's
like
for sure.
squeezing my ass as like a stress ball.
But VTubers can be found from anywhere from TikToks to YouTube Shorts to YouTube in general and the Twitch platform. A majority of them stream and upload short form content, which is how I found Rin. I found them on YouTube Shorts, which is a platform that is slowly withering my brain away. But in VTuber terminology,
I gotta
although
do
I
more
don't know that
shorts,
much
man. I
about the
can't wait for the
community,
clip
they
channel.
would be considered my Urshi, which means to push
Oshi.
your VTuber in ways of support. But me being a narcissist, I'd probably push them off a cliff. But what are these terrible
Based.
agencies and terrible VTubers? An example of a terrible VTuber
TikTok
agency,
done
which
in 9
probably
months?
everyone from their mother
07.
to an Ethiopian child with no internet access has heard of, is Nijisanji. Just hearing that name probably sent shivers through your testicles.
Dude, we have farmed this brand, this company so much like the last months. How long can we grind this brain rot? I want to just see how long we can do this. This is great. I love this.
Nijisanji,
Yo, what's
who have
up?
had a flame under their
What up,
ass
dude?
for the last few months now. And why? Well, unlike successful VTuber agencies like HoloLive,
Guru, my dog died. Let's go!
Oh,
very
7.
successful, they apparently
Let's
don't know how to
go.
manage their talent well, or treat them like a decent human being.
Oh,
So
let's
what happened?
go.
Basically, we had a VTuber by the name of Selen, and this is Selen, who had to revert back to her previous indie VTuber model, Bird. And in my opinion, it's an upgrade. But before she reverted back to being an indie VTuber,
Yeah.
she absolutely dunked on her previous agency and exposed them for what they are. A mounting, flaming trash heap in the form of a sweatshop. It was basically a toxic workplace with harassment and bullying, to the point where the conditions were so deplorable and had such a severe effect on her mental health that she would try and harm herself and ended up in hospital. And on top of that, she went above and beyond for this company to entertain the fans. She would dip into her own pocket to pay for commissions for videos to entertain fans, which should have been a company expenditure, and made it so she made no
I love her model is permanently smug. That's why I said her model is like way better than the other one. Yeah, like in a way, you can see that the previous model, it looks like more quality wise, but this one is just like, it's different. I don't know. I think this one is way better. I like her model a lot. I think it's great. I think it's really good.
profit whatsoever in 2023. But the equivalent of this situation is you went above and beyond for this company, only for them to bend you over a desk and conduct an unprompted colonoscopy. Because of the fact DokiBed was trying to publish videos for her fans that she was paying for, the company would not only take those videos down when she uploaded them, and because she didn't get permission from her corporate overlords, they would get their favourite Winchester Model 21 shotgun, and without even informing her, take her VTuber round back and fill it full of buckshot.
Damn.
And she would wake up to her friends telling her that she had been graduated without her knowing. No prompt.
The beginning of an end. This is the beginning of an end for Nijisanji.
No email, no slap on the ass. She was donezo, and the company basically came out and said it was her own fault. She was breaking rules by trying to entertain her fans for the benefit of the audience and the company.
She broke the rule by entertaining her fans. Man. Doesn't that say something about that company? She spent more of her personal money to entertain the fans. Oh god. Howdy, partner.
Company in general. But this is where it gets really interesting and quite funny. When DokiBed reverted to DokiBed, and the internet heard about this terrible company that affected their mental health so much, they turned into absolute doomslayers. Taking an absolute big tear on the company. And whilst doing so, supporting DokiBed with subscribers and donations on her stream to the point where she was making a profit now. And this would lead that company to scramble for a response to the point where they have to hijack one of their VTubers' streams and get some other fucking VTubers to apologize for them. Basically saying it was all a misunderstanding.
Pathetic.
For some reason it was formatted like a YouTuber apology. They had the black screen. Some of the VTubers forcibly...
You know what I like about this video is that it's the title of this video, The Problem with VTubers. And you know what we majorly talked about? Nijisanji. The problem we have about VTubers is that goddamn company.
Emptying their lungs with sighs. I don't know who I feel sorry for more. The people that had to watch it or the VTubers that got forced to do it. But they would essentially just
doing well, gone down 8% as the last 5 days.
Regarding harassment and people's information being leaked would start heavily in DokiBed's favour. And what is really funny, Nijisanji is telling people to stop selling their stocks in the company because that ship dropped lower than my testicles in puberty.
Damn.
But one thing that really intrigued me about this, not the fact a VTuber agency is getting shat on, but it's how much she's changed from being an agency VTuber to an indie VTuber. Even she notices she's allowed to even make negative comments now.
Wait, I can say it now. In Pokemon! Sorry, my inner filter fucking kicked in.
But she's doing...
Yeah, her work culture, now, like, she's probably... Her mind is, like, completely twisted because she had all of these side rules and Japanese, like, workspace rules and stuff like that. Now she'd go wild. She's go
very
wild.
well for herself with an ever-evolving legal battle. But that is an example of a bad situation with a bad company that these idle VTubers have to endure. Now for the indie VTubers. Most indie VTubers behave kind of like the agency
She's
VTubers,
French.
as I've mentioned before, except for the fact they have a lot more freedom and can say what they want and do what they want, which has led to some VTubers being more NSFW. I'm talking full cock, full mahonga dongas.
Full cock.
Some VTubers having wardrobe malfunctions, which you wouldn't expect an agency VTuber to have a nude avatar version of themselves, and sometimes they intentionally do it, like the...
You would be surprised. There's a... Like, I don't have one, but there is a reasoning for having a nude model. It's so that it's not that hard to put new clothes on.
VTuber Marina that misunderstood the TOS of Twitch update.
You know, I mean, it's like a little bit of reasoning, but you know.
And did a full
Show
stream
cock
in a
right
nude
now.
avatar. And then when people...
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine you watch like a VTuber for like a year, and then suddenly they click live button and all you see is their fat dick on the keyboard? Like, I'd subscribe.
We're telling her, you know, you're gonna get banned, right? She was mocking them and then got banned.
Dude,
or another
a
good
lot
example.
of people during that time took the new TOS as a challenge. Whenever Twitch said that it's fine for people to show naked models and like draw naked models. They took that as an absolute challenge and went nuts. Also, what the fuck is this art? God damn, holy.
Is Project Melody, who originally garnered popularity through her explicit personality, and the fact she was on Chatterbait with a remote control RCXD up her HDMI port, and every time someone donated or put some tokens in the chat.
Y'all remember whenever people on OnlyFans, or was it Chatterbait, that I remember when the girls there were so mad because they were losing viewers to a VTuber? I love Melody for that. She was just the real girls realized that men like more fucking VTubers, and they were getting mad about it. They were like, "Get this shit off the platform." Oh, that's so
Blender would start
losing
and,
to NFT
you can probably guess
streamer.
what happened next.
Lost to
But she was probably one of the
JPEGs.
first VTubers to do this. And as I said, it got a lot of attention. She was discovering a whole new way of being a VTuber. But now she got signed with the VTuber agency VShoujo and has significantly dialed it back, but she's still getting blended every now and again. But overall, indie VTubers have it quite hard, and you basically have to stand out in a crowd just to get viewers. Some VTubers have done this by voicing their political opinions, almost, I say, virtue signaling, like the case with Aurora, where she was saying statements which most people agree with anyway.
Y'all don't think if I win any on one of those VTuber are that I'm not taking that acceptance speech as an opportunity to talk about real issues? I'm thanking y'all, then going straight into Black Lives Matter, Free Palestine, Congo, and Sudan. Like, so many people are complaining about the person running it, but aren't thinking about what it means to win it. Is a chance to make an audience accountable on a huge platform. Imagining reaching that big of an audience to talk about things that matter. You're not going to change anything by that. You're acting like a V-tweeter. Nothing, like you would not do anything. The media is already plastering everything in every country about these things. You talking about this on an acceptance speech to thank your fans and the audience and the community, mentioning these things are actually kind of disrespectful in a way, because you are focusing on something out of the proportion. There's one moment for once where VTuber can sit there and talk about their community, and you're mashing real life politics into this. It's absolutely like, I get it. All of these things matter, but it's about the like appropriate timing. And VTubers have barely any place to show themselves, present themselves, or thank people from in a big, vast audience. This is not going to change anything. You talking about Free Palestine is not going to change Israel's mind because you did this in a VTuber award. If you want to do something, go to your Congress or go to the country and help fix it. Like, you can do some action physically instead of just yapping. If you're yapping, you're not doing anything. You got to get up your ass and do something physically if you want to do some changes.
And somewhat fear-mongering, but indie VTubers definitely have it harder in the way they have to gather their own audience.
She forgot that she's an anime girl. Yeah. Listen. A lot of people don't want to think about real life when they watch entertainment. And definitely, if there's a streamer being a VTuber, separating himself even more, we don't want to talk about real life politics.
Agency VTubers do kind of get that interest beforehand, but I do see why some indie VTubers would do this.
Respect your audience a little bit, please.
It's really hard to make yourself stand out in a sea of anime girls. So some, not all of them, tend to the NSFW side, or the personalities like that anyway, and they have a lot more freedom to express themselves. But in terms of indie VTubers and agency VTubers, both have their struggles, and both are quite neat. Even if one of the VTubers
streamed 11 times since her debut a year ago. Wait, what? She quit? We're looking at that later after the video.
Just by donating, that is unfortunately still entertainment. And as always, one VTuber does not define what all VTubers are like, or what one VTuber agency is like for the rest. but I can see how people view indie VTubers and agency VTubers as entertaining, from things they can do to their VTuber model that most Twitch streamers won't even get out of their chair for, or just creating concerts and small events for their
Damn, that
fans,
concert.
or introducing a new model to their community, or doing whatever Fillion is doing, which is causing internal brain damage every day, I think. But that's basically what a VTuber is and the potential problems they face. That's it. Bye-bye.
A good video. I very much like that. That was a really good video. I never watched this channel before, but that was really cool. I mean, yeah. I mean, like, in the end of the day, like, I think VTubing is evolving more and more. Like, it's just the technology is getting better and better and better, and I love it. I love seeing that. It's actually, it's really cool. I think it's really cool to see the new things that VTuber can do now, and I just can't wait to see how the industry evolves in like 5 years. But yeah, if you enjoy this video itself, make sure you like the video itself, and also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more reacts. But anyways, peace.